My parents, John and Eva Miller, married on January 23, 1934. She was barely 18. He was 27. They began married life with $7 between them and no material possessions. After the wedding, they lived for a time with his brother and wife in the house on the farm the two brothers worked together. In the spring, they moved a mile away to a house that was little more than a glorified granary with tar paper walls. Their daughter was born a month before their first anniversary. Just after Christmas of her second year, she took ill, and after a few days of being very sick, she died of pneumonia. They buried her in the lonely country cemetery. 6 weeks later, my mom gave birth to another girl. In 1944, my parents bought their own farm. They moved into the cottage that was on the property with their 5 children. So, with a loan, a cow and calf, 2 horses, and used equipment, much hope, and a prayer, they began a new chapter in their lives. 2 more children were born here, completing the family of my sister, 5 boys, and me, the youngest daughter. My parents were happiest with family gathered around them, enjoying Mom's delicious home cooking. There was good conversation with lots of laughter. At the end of the meal, Dad always gave Mom a smile. His blue eyes twinkling, he would say simply, "Good supper, Mom." She would smile back at him, giving a nod of acknowledgement. When the dishes were cleared away, we would all enjoy a game of cards. Dad would try to cheat by picking more than one card or dealing from the bottom of the deck. When caught, he would chuckle and try to pretend it was an accident. Mom would shake her head, slap at his fingers, saying, "Oh, go on with you, stop your cheating." One year, they got a crib game for Christmas. Dad read the rules and proceeded to teach Mom the game. By about the 3rd hand, with Mom losing by a mile, she finally asked him when it would be her turn to get the extra hand. He laughed so hard and Mom was so mad that he had tricked her. A whole week went by before she would play again. He always commented on how nice she looked. He would say how he liked the dress she was wearing, or the color was one of his favorites. She would smile, smooth his tie or adjust his collar, and let her hand rest on his chest a moment, telling him he looked nice too. Apple pie was Dad's favorite dessert. "It's been a while since we've had an apple pie," Dad would hint. By supper that night, or maybe the next day, Dad would be enjoying fresh apple pie. Good pie, Mom," he would tell her as he chewed the last bite. They celebrated 62 years of marriage, and Dad passed away in 1996. About a year after Dad died, I had Mom to our home for supper. After the meal, I offered her a piece of apple pie. She looked at me, her blue eyes twinkling, the corners of her mouth turned up in a little smile. "I never liked apple pie. My favorite's lemon."